What's up, fight fans? Let me get set up here. Just putting in my thumbnail here, I guess. Just want to separate it from my workout videos that somehow when the dongle flipped, uh, they cut me off. So sorry about that. But I hope you kept working out. And like I said in the work, in my workout videos, we got. I need some water. I left it in the other room. All right, so this right here, big fight. Xander Zayes is oh, I'm not even on the yet. Okay, cool. But if you're tuning in when you're tuning in, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, become a Round One Sports Talk member, and let's talk boxing. This right here is a big fight. Xander Zayas is going to be fighting Perez or Garcia, whichever way you more familiar with him, right? And the reason why I wanted to make a video on this, a lot of people have touched on this fight in particular. Uh, I'm not sure if a lot of people have really touched on how dangerous this fight is, right? Per se, because when you think about this fight, this is the type of fight that both men have waited for in their careers. I think that they have met at a crossroads, both these fighters. This is where their career has taken them, and this is the challenge that's in front of them. Um, as far as Xander, right, goes, he's an undefeated fighter, right? And he boasts the record of 21 fights with 13 knockouts. Okay. He has 100 rounds, right, of boxing experience. Um, he's fairly young in the boxing world, 22 years old, 61% knockout ratio with a 74-inch arm reach. So he's long. He fights at the 154-pound weight division, and this Saturday he will be getting his first crack at a WBO World Championship. Now, as the fight gets closer, and I start to really break down both fighters, right? I was gonna put up videos of both fighters, but I don't want them to copyright me and have to, take the video down or whatever. You know how Top Rank is, and this being their last fight card on ESPN. And I don't know what Top Rank's gonna do from here. I branch with Turkey, who knows? People say a lot of things, but I'm not behind the scenes, so I'm not qualified to tell you definitively what they're going to do or what direction Top Rank is going to go with their fighters and as to get another streaming network that would stream the fights. And where is the future of boxing headed? So a lot of moving pieces are going to be, and I think that this is definitively Top Rank's last fight on ESPN. So Xander Zayas is going to be headlining the event. There's going to be other fighters on the card as Bruce Carrington, Dominican, Rising Star, so Rohan Polanco. So there's going to be a lot of big fights on that card. But this card in particular, right? Uh, I don't know, guys. Uh, I'm getting nervous. I'm getting nervous right now, with this fight. Uh Hold on. Bam Bam's calling me right now. Wait up. This guy. I'm getting nervous for this fight right now as it starts to build up. But I do admit that Xander, let's break down the fight. A little distracted there with these phone calls. I gotta get this leave this phone alone. I'm on, guys. Like, come on in. Round one. I think Clarissa Shield gets the stoppage. Yeah. Um, late. Um, betting odds favorite got Xander stopping him late 7-12, between 7 and 12. That's what the betting odds favor in Las Vegas. Going into the fight right now, as of right now, Xander is still favorite. As we get closer to the fight, let's see if the odds change or whatever direction they feel. Now, the reason why they're saying that is because we've seen certain style fighters get shut down. Okay. And although Xander Zayes is a real technical boxer, uh, Jorge is really known for his body work and punching power. He's a skinny dude that can crack hard. And we know a guy with a good punch can change a fight. I don't think Xander has fought anybody with the punching power like this guy. Yo, he stopped Conwell for opening up. Why do you think Conwell couldn't open up in that fight? He was the number one top contender, Conwell, the top prospect in the country, number one, bro. And Jorge here shut him down, bro. He couldn't get it together in the second gear. It was because he had to watch out with those shots he was being hit with. Now, a lot of people are saying that Xander's not going to allow him to fight that way on the inside and let him get close enough to him. That Xander has enough skill and enough pop to keep him on the outside and fight technical. Xander rarely overextends on his punches. Where like he's chasing the guy. No, he does stay disciplined, right? And then Jorge here is not a long range great fighter. No, he can be a little awkward. He could be a little awkward and he doesn't look as polished, but his placement of shots, top notch. Jorge knows how to place a punch. He knows what he's looking for. And if you're asleep behind the wheel, he's going to make you pay for it. And he's long. He's real long. He could hurt Xander with a body shot. He could hurt Xander with a body shot. Yeah. But I like Xander's style, though. And I understand his technical boxing ability, Xander's. And that's what I'm banking on. Can he stay disciplined the entire fight, the entire 36 minutes? Can Xander, and then, or can accumulation of allowing Jorge, because there's going to be times in the fight, Xander's going to be looking for a breather because the Mexican dude is going to be coming forward. He's going to be coming forward. It could be a situation where Xander's fighting off the back foot, going backwards all night, and he could be exhausted. He'll allow Jorge to push him up against the rope or get close enough to him to accumulate punches and damage throughout a courses of round. 2-3 rounds like that, he'll start to break Xander down. That's what I'm afraid of, right? I think that Xander's going to come into this fight top shape. He took some pictures just recently with a watch, entering New York, buying clothes. People take that as a distraction. You know, Xander's been in New York before. He's not a real flashy kid by nature. You know, he bought himself a watch. Cool. You know, uh, and or maybe it was a gift, right? Maybe it was a gift. Got here and Saudi was like, "Yo, here's a watch." I don't know. He's always giving away shit, right? So I think that as far as the fight goes, itself, this is a real interesting fight, man. It's a real interesting fight. One side of me, it's like, oh, I'm ready to be like Puerto Rico, you know, but I got to be honest with myself. I got to accept what these two guys have done. And if we're looking about the better fighters, yo, Perez beat the better of the fighter. He got Conwell. That's a good scalp. That's better than any scalp Xander has, hands down. I mean, Xander did beat undefeated fighters. He just beat like an undefeated fighter, right? But them German dudes, come on, man. I mean, good over there, but Xander picked him apart. He hit him with an ill body shot. The dude tried to get him with like a cheeky overhand. Xander didn't go for it. You know, he stays. Xander knows. Um, and Xander in his own right got punching power. He's strong. You know, these guys he's fighting are, these are big boys up there, 154. I imagine what they're getting in the ring at. So what? You don't think he could hurt Xander at all? You don't think he could hurt him? Man, I think he has the skills and the power to hurt Xander. I don't think Xander has fought a bigger puncher in his career. How could you say that? You don't think he can hurt Xander? Xander's never fought a puncher like this. Name me one guy that can punch and got a better knockout ratio than Garcia here, Perez. Anybody that Xander's ever come up against that can punch like this, that got them cheeky ass body shots. Bro, he beat the shit out of Conwell, bro. And we all thought just one fight ago, no, don't put in Xander with Conwell yet. He's not ready for him. We were saying he wasn't ready for Conwell. Just one fight. What are you talking about? And my man came in there and beat the brakes off him. Is it a true definition that we're about to see styles make fights? And sometimes height, reach can play a factor, can really change a fight if you have the same amount of skills. Could it be that Xander is taller than Conwell? What was Conwell, 5'7" or some shit, right? And that height that they got Xander on and box rec, I think that was taken real early in his career. I think he's a bit taller than that. And they're gonna come in, or maybe he is around there. He's like 5'11", somewhere around there, because I seen a picture where he was standing, and don't they got homeboy listed at 6'1", right? Jorge is listed at 6'1", right? So, matter of fact, we're not gonna even guess. We'll just okay. They got Xander down there at the 5'10", you know. But let's see here. What's the next? Okay, and they got him at 6 feet, right? I heard they announced him for the Conwell fight. I think they announced him at 6'1". I could remember when they announced him for one of his fights. I remember that height. It just like in the back of my head. And I think Xander's actually like 6 feet. So he's like 6'1", Xander's like 6 feet, some shit like that. They're right in between. Let me see real quick. Hold up. I just want to see if I can get, I don't know, a little comparison on the internet. Uh let's see here. I forget quickly. Hmm. I went to imaging. I'm trying just to look at them like if they ever stood beside. I'm pretty sure they've on some kind of podium or something. They probably stand side by side. I just can't find any images right now. And I went to Google search. I don't have any images, so I don't not really too sure about how they were fare, but I think that, for the most right, Perez is long and rangy. I'm not sure, but I think that Xander has enough skill and he has enough footwork to not let him become the fighter he is. This is where a better fighter and a better style and technique can really show and control this Mexican style. He doesn't fight like your traditional Mexican. He has a better selection of punches. He's very crafty and he knows how to position his punch. He'll let you get a couple off to get the one that he was looking for. So he's a sneaky little fighter and you got to be disciplined and he has to play the outside. Xander is long in his own right and he can really work off that front foot. If he gets him frustrated and gets him to come in, Xander can counter. I'll bang it out with Xander in the pocket with him when Xander is hyped. When Xander is in the zone and he's like, Vente, let's go. Boom, boom. And he's ready to throw and bang and he's slipping punches. Xander, for me, is faster than this guy in the pocket. He's better on the trigger right there. And in the moment, like getting hyped, like and going in. So if he can sustain that kind of attack, keep pushing Chino back and keep Chino on his back foot like that, and then make Chino come forward. Because at some point, Chino's gonna have to recognize, yo, I'm down in the fight. I gotta do something. So Xander's team gotta expect that. They gotta expect, you know, we can get up in the cards, right? And there's gonna be a point where he's gonna make his move. You gotta be ready for that. Okay. Um, and you know, this fight is tough, bro. Yo, it's tough. I'm trying to tell you because when I think of the guys that Xander has fought and the guys that Top Rank have put him in the ring with, bro, they've managed him well. He's well managed in Top Rank. And the guys they put him in with are going to make Xander look like that. You can't lie to yourself because you're going to set yourself up for failure if you're blind. You got to assess what Xander has done, where he has been at in his career. Because if you keep going by, oh, but he won, he's undefeated, this and that, you're not going to see that. Wait a minute, he hasn't been tested at the top level. That division he's in, there's a bunch of sharks in that water. Go ahead and try to put one pinky toe in that water at 154. See what happens. There's all kinds of even legends. One time Keith Thurman is lurking. He's like, dum, 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 dum. And um Terrence Crawford left. Technically, he's left the division, but he was there too. Like that 150, man, in today's that shit, that's a tough division to become a champion in. Look at the names that look at what Fundora. Yo, he stopped Tim Tszyu. A fucking tough guy. Tim Tszyu is a tough dude. Yo, he made him say, no mas. He made him quit. I was like, oh shit, that was impressive. That was impressive. And I had Fundora in the fight. And the reasons why, it was like I told everybody, I try to tell you anyway. I said, yo, when Tim Tszyu had the most to lose, and he wasn't ever defeated yet at that time. He never got not brutally knocked out, right? Um, and we fought Sebastian Fundora the first time. He was at his most dangerous. He was anxious. He wanted to get him out of there. He knew the blood was coming down. And he hit Sebastian Fundora with everything he had. And he fought him with the utmost confidence. He didn't know how to lose at that point. And he still couldn't beat Sebastian Fundora. Although the blood was in his eyes and the fight changed, it still brought the most dangerous fighter out of Tim Tszyu. And I saw that. And I said, even with the most dangerous version of Tim Tszyu, might have been a wild one and blood in the eyes, and he took more chances that he normally would have done. He still got the most violence out of Tim Tszyu. So how are you going to recreate that violence and have it controlled and tell me you were going to beat Sebastian Fundora? I didn't think he was going to catch up to him again. He never really caught up to his chin. He was jumping, lunging all night. So I was like, Sebastian Fundora still vulnerable to the overhand right, still acceptable to that. He got caught with it with Tim Tszyu, but Tim Tszyu was off his feet. He was like throwing he looked like the little Mike Tyson guy, that boing, 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 that little dude, the little Mac dude. And it just looked like he was fighting a giant. You know, the Tower Inferno, man. He'll just, on any night, he'll give anybody problems. You know, he possesses punching power. Tim Tszyu was like, damn, my fucking brain is rattling. I'm just getting my ass whooped, and I don't feel like I'm going anywhere with this guy. Sebastian Fundora looked fresh as a daisy. And Tim Tszyu is like sitting there like out of his mind. He's just like, damn, I'm getting pieced up here. And for him to pack it up in the corner like that in front of all those people, he saw no possible wins. His boxing spirit he was broke as a fighter. You know, that he made him say uncle. And I believe that's worse. If you knock me out in a fight, fine, fuck it. You knocked me out. Embarrassing, yes, you knocked me out. But if you make me say uncle, you mean to tell me I was like, say uncle. Ah, uncle. Huh? Ain't you a tough dude? You cried out for help. You begged what? So you're gonna have to snap some dude's arms. They're gonna break it. Break it. You got me? Break it. I ain't saying uncle. There's some dude, they take pride in that. No man is in the world gonna get me to say uncle. I'd rather get up, listen, let me out. I'll stand full-fledged like this. Just knock me out. Take the knockout. But fuck you if you're going to make me go, oh, I'm sorry. Cry out to me. Let me hear it. Let me hear you say it. Come on, say it. I'll snap it. Uncle? Ah! There are dudes that live inside of these dojos and gyms that take pride in no man has ever submit them. You know what I mean? You ain't never got me to scream out for help, and I'm supposed to be the best. You know? You hear about those tales like those Demetrius Johnsons and shit, those kind of guys, and they ain't crying out for shit. You know? Yes. That's crazy. So he made him say uncle, man. And Tim Tszyu, bro, when I saw that, I was like, oh shit. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. When I saw Subriel Matias beat Alberto Puello, I realized something in the moment, real fast. I was like, fuck. Alberto Puello is the only man to survive the final bell with Subriel. Every other time, if he lost, that's not a win. But when you're talking about Subriel's wins, he had 100% knockout ratio going into that fight with Alberto Puello. 100%. So if he wins, he's 100% stopping you on all his fights. Or he loses. He lost twice. Alberto Puello went the distance. He was like, okay, check. I know I can go the distance with you. What did I do wrong? What did I not do? What did you overwhelm me with? He has another shot at Subriel Matias. I don't like it. I don't like it. Subriel, take the win. Just go. Just hightail it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean it hightail it like that, like he's scared to beat him because he just beat him. right? But it's just a dangerous fight. I think Subir can beat him again. Yes. I think Subir can do it. He can mirror the performance and shut him down again. Very possible. But there's a lot of other good fights out there. That Gary Antoine Russell, now the smack heard across the world where Subir smacked Tio, smacked the shit out of him. And we're like, yo, blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot of beef. And then Saudi, of course, is throwing his bag of money in there for him to fight Dalton Smith because Ed Hearn wants another superstar, and Ed Hearn is inside a fucking Saudi prince's ear. He's about to get his boy Dalton Smith fucked up, but that's okay. And people are saying about them being so early, 4 months, of training, but that's good for Subiel. Keep them active. Keep them out of them streets. Keep them out of them, you know. Put the biggest bag in front of him. Give Subriel Matias motivation for those 3 little girls he has. I like it. I like it. People are like, oh, it's too soon, but nah. When we was kids, we was fighting every week in the boys' club. Every Saturday, we had a boxing match. Every freaking Saturday, bro. We was in there beefing. Mike Tyson fought 14 times in 1 year. Don't tell me 4 months is no, boxers can do it. Now, with the injury that he sustained with the eye, I'm not next to him. I can't defend it now. If I'm looking at the eye and I'm like, damn, that shit is worse than I thought. 4 months, right? Because his sparring is going to come at the end of his training, more than likely. And then his sparring is probably going to be light because they don't want to reopen the cut. So how hard is he going in the gym? You don't want to start training your fighter as a body puncher fighter, right? So I'm gonna start to open up the line. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. If anybody wants to come up and share, I'm gonna start reading off your comments here. Let me get back to you guys. Xander has better punching power, you think? I'm not sure. Xander has better punching power, but what I don't like that he does is pull back after he has done punching. But I love the body work. I beg to differ. I think that Perez is the better puncher, has the better punching power out of Xander. Xander, well, he might have misleading punching power, Xander, because he had a lot of these guys in a lot of trouble. I can remember, and they survived and went the distance. Had it been like one more round or something, or like 40 more seconds, he probably has a better knockout ratio on his record, Xander Zayes, to tell you the truth. So his knockout ratio doesn't really tell the story. I can agree to that. I've looked over his fights, Xander. I'm very familiar with who he is and how some of those fights he could have gotten a stoppage. Okay. These guys just happen to survive, right? So, and I think that would, doesn't really speak to the kid's punching power. The fact that he wasn't, some people criticize and say, well, he didn't get the guy out of there, right? Some of these guys are good pros. He fought a former world champion, Xander. Okay. And Teixeira, look, you could say what you want. He was old, you know, but he was a seasoned fighter, So good wins for Xander, but the better win, I have to give it to Perez. Chichino. I gotta give the better win because that Conwell win, that's a good scalp. The way he was able to control him and shut Conwell down. Conwell never turned into himself. You got to ask yourself why. Why was it the fact that you're going to say that he had an off night and he couldn't kick it in another gear? Maybe. Maybe. Or was it Chino's punching power that was putting him in his place. That's what I want to talk about. You know what I mean? And anything else you guys want to talk about, you know what I mean? Bam Bam, stop being a little and get up here, bro. Let's talk, bro. Because I know you got a lot to say, Bam Bam. I see you in the background lurking. You know what I'm saying? You and your sunglasses. You know what I'm saying? Like a little peep in time. I turn around, Bam Bam's in my window. Bing, ah. But he never has nothing to say. You know what I mean? So why don't you get your ass up here, man? Let me hear what you got to say. Hector, what's up? How you doing? It was a lot of good matchmaking for Xander. For Haney glazing. Haney's another fighter. See, for me, it's not about glazing or anything because if you guys have been with me, I've said this since the beginning. I started my channel. I have no horse in the race. I cover boxing, so I have to talk about all of them, you know, and I try to just focus on the top matches and the top guys and stuff. But I realize no matter what your opinion is that you have for Devin Haney, wherever you place him, he's good for the sport. Imagine boxing right now without one less Devin Haney. It would be that much boring. Whether you want to see him get knocked out, exposed, and say that he's not the fighter, well, then show me fighters that are going to beat him and prove that. And by taking on this fight with Brian Norman Jr., I think Devin Haney really is trying to like, you know, win the people back, just like Shakur Stevenson did. You know, just once upon a time, Daniel Dubois. You know, these are guys that were in a slump and managed to dig their way out, themselves out of that slump. Well, here's Devin Haney's opportunity. It's not about glazing them. It's about studying the fight and actually studying what's going on. Fuck with the naysayers, all the stories. Bill said this, Devin did this, Ryan that. Fuck all that. That's not what we're watching. We're watching a boxing match, and we got to break down two fighters. That's Devin Haney and Brian Norman Jr. They're about to throw down, you know. So it's not about glazing or topping any guy or anything like that. What I feel about Devin Haney, I don't feel like he's finished. I just don't think he's finished. Now, does Brian Norman have the ability to fucking put the nail in the coffin? Fucking right, he does. You're damn right. That can damage your fighter right there. Devin Haney can never recover, might not ever recover from a big loss or a knockout that he gets knocked out. Or maybe responds like a G. How do you know that Devin goes in there, gives it his all, gets knocked out or whatever, or loses the fight, and in his next fight, he knocks another guy out? And he doesn't let that fight even affect him. Like he's still young enough. Okay, I lost the fight. So what? Move on to the next. We don't know how these fighters are going to respond. You feel me? So it's interesting. You know, he's just one of those guys that is up there and his name does carry weight. And as for potential fights, his name keeps coming up, Devins, because I would like to see him against Teal. Shit, I would have liked to see him against Subriel. I would have liked to see him against a lot of guys. You know what would have been better, actually? That he would have fought Mario Barrio. Devin. Put Devin in with Mario Barrio. Devin becomes the WBC world champion. Yeah. I think he could beat Mario Barrio. And he is taking on fucking Brian Norman Jr. That's dangerous, bro. That's dangerous. So, and he's not gonna get respect if he fights Norman like he fought. Yeah, even if he does when he has to go in there and fight basically like Shakur did in his last fight. Um, all right. What Shakur Stevenson did in his last fight, Shakur took it to the extreme. The extreme case of standing in the pocket, slipping, parrying punches, and beating you at your own game. You hear of a name like William Cepeda, he's known for his volume of punches and inside fighting game. What Shakur Stevenson did was he took it to the most extreme. He literally stood there and beat Cepeda in his own game. That was what was impressive with the Shakur win. Now, in Devin Haney's situation, he doesn't technically have to do that. He can go in there, be aggressive, slug it out, bang it, outside, pepper him, break down Brian Norman Jr., and finish him in later rounds. Still utilizing his footwork, but being like more like, stinging him in and out and sitting down on some of these combinations when it benefits him in the punching sequence, putting himself in the next place to throw the next available punch at a high connection ratio. You'll know where you're at. This becomes a dance at the highest levels, and it becomes a game of inches. And if you're in the right position, you only got two hands. What are the selection from this angle? And what is my highest probability of hitting you with a shot? That's how these guys are training at that level. So, um, Devin, I'm afraid of something for Devin, right? That he was the kid that the father loved a lot and brought him to a lot of different dojos or teachers, like the best of the best. And he tried to give his son like this ultimate training, but he never really settled with one master. I think he learned so much that he developed no real style or no real sense of himself as a fighter. I think Devin was whatever he portrayed as a fighter, as a chameleon, he was able to pull that off. And throughout his career, he was able to sustain at a high volume what he learned from different coaches and different fighters. He knew how to mirror them. But as a fighter himself, what style did he develop out of all his teachings? He's not there. He doesn't know to take like Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee understood things about Kung Fu, Muay Thai, Judo. He understood things about all these arts. And he thought they were a bit long-winded. He said, you can get to the point a lot faster if you just do this. So he understood out of all his teachings and the masters that he studied under, that they were only teaching him their styles, but it was up to him as the fighter to make his own. Devin hasn't done that yet. When I study Devin, I see what he is. I know what he is. He's a highly talented kid that got more opportunities than your average fighter. The kind of gyms Devin's been in, but he was taught by all these masters and he forgot to develop himself as a fighter. He just mimicked what they taught him. And he was so talented, he can look like them. But he didn't have why they were doing it. He was just doing it. And he looked real good. He just never made himself as a fighter. He didn't take everything they gave him and made Devin Haney. That's what he forgot to do. but he can still do it. He listen, he's filled with so much knowledge, with a lot. Devin has a lot of fucking boxing knowledge in that head. He's just got to put it together, man, like that. Oh. But let's see if he can figure it out. And that's boxing is a special thing, man. And when you're able to pull it off like that at these high levels, you never know where your fighter's going to take himself to. Look at Xander right now. Look at Bruce Carrington. Look how old he is. And we're like, why'd you stay in the Olympics 2 times? You know, Xander, I think, has the better background, amateur background, uh, than Perez here, I think. And even though Xander was one of those type of fighters that had a lot of important men in his corner, he had a good amateur background, like I said, and a good upbringing, and signed quickly with Top Rank, and the youngest boxer in Top Rank's history to be signed to them at the ripe age of 16 years old. So Xander's been around for a very long time, and it seems like I've been hearing his name like in some boxing circles for quite some time. And you look up and you realize he's only 22 years old. 22. Okay, young man. These both these guys are in for, like, I believe, one of the best fights, uh potentially. And then you always got excitement, I feel, when you got the Vargas family in the building, you know what I'm saying? And them boys come in, like, uh I've had the privilege to talk to some of the brothers. I still haven't talked to the dad. That's an interview I would like. I'm gonna try to further reach my hand out to the Vargases and see if I can get them to come on. Because I would really like to talk to Fernando, man. There was just a lot of history there. That was my era. That was my time. Uh, yeah, I believe that they rushed the Vargas, the father, senior, along early in his career, and I think they regret that. They should have just allowed him to become the boxer. They knew he was going to be at 19 years old. He was already in there fighting some pretty big names, at 20 years old, shit like that. And for a kid like that, but the whole experience of it all, being in Vegas and headlining events like that, and uh, the kind of wars that he was in and stuff, you know, I would like to ask him how he felt in some of those moments, and who was the biggest fight, the most controversy, the biggest puncher. What was his one of his best one of his because sometimes you ask these guys, "Yo, what's your best moment?" And they say some off the wall shit. Like, "Yo, there was this one kid in the amateurs I fought, and he fucking put me through hell." And you're like, "What?" And like, and it or that it's just that one match that maybe meant so much to them. So hearing it from them, that I would like. I know there was a lot of controversy, and if I ever got to talk to him, and if he wanted to talk about it, I wouldn't hold him to it. The fight with Felix. If he didn't want to talk about it, or just said, "I'm gonna leave it like that," cool, no problem. But that was a great fight too. You know, uh, both fighters feel a different way, and they see their fight a different. But hey, it is what it is. You know, yeah. Rohan Polanco and Quentin Randall, tough. Listen, these Dominican dudes are all butthurt over Subriel winning, right? And they clearly are. They're clearly butthurt, right? And they're not letting it go, and they're taking it personal, And now they just focus all their attention onto Rohan. Rohan fucking lost his mind on social media. He needs to slow down, starting calling out Subriel Matias now. Every Dominican fighter that gets B, he wants to act like he's gonna put on a Dominican cape, Captain Save a Hole. Rohan Polanco is one of my favorite Dominican fighters, and I've showed him a lot of support and respect. But this dude is losing his fucking mind. Now he's just stepping on all Puerto Rican people that helped him throughout his career. There were a lot of Puerto Rican men that backed up Rohan Polanco's career for him to turn around and say, Puerto Ricans don't like me. As you can see, when you get around your people, you start to show your true nature. So what you're saying that you just use the Puerto Ricans to get where you need to, and then all of a sudden the asshole is going to show up, Rohan? Because it seems like that's what's going on. Every time a Dominican fighter gets beat, he puts his nose in it. Like he represents all of Dominican boxing. Like, how dare you beat a Dominican boxer? You know what I'm saying? On some tight shit. And I think he needs to focus on Randall here. Bro, that's a tough fight right there. I admit, if he could beat Randall impressively, it will definitely speak to me. He's next for the guys at 147. Would I put him with a champion after a Randall fight? No. No. As we all know, one guy beat him one way. If you can beat him better than any of the other guys beat him and show that kind of dominance, then yeah. But if Randall happens to pull one of the biggest upsets on that card, which is this one, because this card is A side heavy. Everybody on the A side is supposed to win. Let's just be honest with the entire card. Go look at that fight card from top to bottom. It's A side heavy. That's just the truth. So if you were a gambling man, just put your money on all the A side. That's the way the night's supposed to go. Now, Randall is that shot in the dark. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. And who the fuck did uh the Dominican fighter there, Rohan Polanco? What's his best win again? What's his best win? Who did he beat again? Let's look him up, right? Look. Uh I was gonna pull up even previous guys, but um he's 16-10, right? He's 26 years old. He has a 62% knockout ratio and he stands at 5'10. So he's got good height to him. He's not a little dude. Rohan Polanco is a fairly nice size for the division. He's 5'10, is listed here as 5'10, right? Uh Derek Bell, Richard Corby. I mean, notable win. Keith Hunter, probably. Uh Luis Hernandez, Rohan, no. Nelson Lopez, Carlos Torres, good solid guy. Uh that's why I'm saying right now. But Quentin Randall right now, he's sitting at 34 years old. He's 5'11. He's an orthodox boxer. Uh, you know, 34 years old. He's been around the Brian Norman Jr. fight. Just there alone, he went the distance, the 10 rounds. So I can remember that at least he has that kind of opponent where that Rohan Polanco doesn't have that Brian Norman Jr. on his record, and he went the distance with him, and you guys saw how that fight with Brian Norman Jr. went with with uh uh Randall shit, you know. So that's why I say that this is a dangerous, dangerous fight for Rohan. It's a dangerous fight. I'm looking up right now his record. I mean, the Brian Norman Jr. Thing is the only one that really Quentin Randall got that is like, he's not a big puncher. 15 fights, 3 knockouts, 2 losses. He never been stopped in the 2 losses. He's never been stopped. He's never been knocked out. He knows how to survive. He definitely knows how to survive, right? So, like I said, it goes right back to my initial point. If Rohan Polanco can stop Randall more impressively, like Brian Norman Jr. didn't stop him, right? So if he can stop him and show better dominance, yes, it catapults him into a better conversation with a possibility fighting one of the champions. But Rohan Polanco can't seem to get, whenever a Dominican fighter loses, oh, he has to come to their aid or their defense. Like he wants to challenge the guy that beat the Dominican fighter. And it's like, yo, Rohan, chill out, bro. You're not Captain Dominican Republic, bro. Look, I respect his enthusiasm. I respect, his noble, like, oh well, no, then fight me type shit. I respect all that. But it seems like he's doing it with every Dominican loss. And if you're gonna do that, brother, like that would be, and then it's all fake, right? Like I'm sitting here saying, but isn't Rohan Polanco fighting at 147? Isn't Subiel at 140? So he's saying you're going back down to 140 really to fight Subiel over that? Like, come on, dude. You're not doing that. So it's just yeah. He needs to focus on this shit. And Bruce Carrington needs to fight better fighters. He needs to put himself. He ain't getting no younger. He's not getting any younger. I want to see what Bruce looks like in this fight. Uh, and go from there because potential shit that might arise later in the future. We're gonna get this Naoya Inoue fight with MJ. He's even been photographed with Marlon Tapales that MJ beat for 2 belts, but that beat MJ. Marlon Tapales beat MJ. And we know the reason why I say all of this because Bruce Carrington's name has been floating around with the possibility if Naoya Inoue was to move up to 126. You see? So you know, it's just he might be able what I'm saying is that Bruce Carrington might be able to get a different kind of bag. He might be older in the game. And I'm not sure if he's gonna really ever get to that pinnacle of, being the best 126 pounder the world's ever seen or getting those kind of accolades where he moved up throughout divisions. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe he can squeeze a couple in there. Bing, 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 bing. Like some people just jump up, get one fight in that division, get the belt, move up quickly. I've seen that. But to pull it off is a different story, right? All entirety. So yeah. What's up, guys? What the fuck is his name? Xavier DLC. Yeah. Uh this Rohan Polanco kid, I like him a lot. I think that as he starts to get more fame, the pressure of all the like attention Dominican people must be giving him, it must be giving him this sense that he has to achieve or protect, in a sense, Dominican boxing. And he needs to go out there and perform well and high. His last performances, I was like, yo, Rohan is like really shining. The way he really acclimated to 147 like that, it was pretty impressive. And he still looked good, had the good speed, he had everything. So I liked it. I was like, oh shit, like the kid's really like, but it's like I said, where he's starting to lose some people, it's not even what he's doing in the ring, it's what's coming out of his mouth now. He's completely like has this notion that Puerto Rican people didn't like him or don't support him, which is just a bull-faced lie. Because when Rohan was coming up, the majority of the men that were in his corner were Puerto Rican. Even his management, all that shit. Even his trainer. So for him to come out every time somebody does something like them two Mexican, that Mexican dude that beat the two Dominican fighters, what was it? Elvis Rodriguez and
Lindolfo Delgado.
right, and Rohan turns around, "Oh, I'll fight them guys, I'll fight," and then all of a sudden, Matias beats Alberto Puello. "Oh, I'm gonna beat Matias up." I'm like, "Bro, what are you doing? What are you putting on your cape?" And like, "Oh, every Dominican fighter that gets beat or whatever, I gotta come to their aid and say something for the look, they lost, Rohan, just focus on you." And I was still high. I got him really high in regards to I think he might be a world champion one day if he can keep it all together. If he can keep it all together, stay the course, focus on where is he going? What division? Are you on 147? Stay in 147. You have enough fighters, champions right in front of you. So that's how I feel about that. But I like Rohan Polanco as a fighter, yes, you know. And then there's opportunity, right? The IBF is still vacant, right? At 147, and Lewis is the number one for it. So I'm like, there's opportunity there. Brian Norman Jr. is the WBO, Mario Barrios the WBC, and then Jerron Butsen is the WBA. I thought he was the IBF too as well. Why did he lose the IBF? Jerron Butsen is.
Probably
They
got stripped for
he got
inactivity.
stripped. He got stripped for inactivity, didn't he?
Probably. What's up, Edwin?
What's up, bro? Man, chilling front line. How you doing, man?
Other day.
Another day, huh? Another day.
Shout out to the chat.
Yeah, man. Read all some of those chat messages there.
I don't know. Did I just hopped on? So
Yeah,
did you read anything, or you just started reading too?
I started reading a couple of them, but
Let's
read
start
from
with let's start with your manager, where he says, "Turkey, we need a 140-pound tournament. Match from Queensberry, can't wait. Matias versus Teo Hitchens, Russell, winner for undisputed. Zayas and the new WBO 140. Hector Tapia, Blessings, family boxing teams. Jaime Alvarado Fonduro was packing them soup bones. Queequeg says the LDBC is the foundation of Haney Glaze, which is true. Um, I'm going to Politico this weekend. That's Cam. He's been beat already, says Queequeg. She also says, and he's not going to get respect if he fights Norm like he fought Ramirez, even if he does win. He
yeah, I
has to
read
go.
those.
Oh, you read those? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Read all
Xavier
those.
says thoughts on Rohan Polanco and Quentin Randall. I'm assuming that's why you jumped into the Rohan topic. He also said, also, do you know anything about John Santana? The Majorca fight build up with Vargas, says landslide. Xavier says Rohan said Puerto Ricans love him. He also says, what do you mean round one? Look at John Santana fight. He in a tough fight. Guy he's fighting is 30-2, and his two losses are
Red
against
Bull.
Angelo Leo and Neri, and that's it.
Yeah. Like well, that's another topic. We could talk about Angelo Leo and Neri and all that. And we could talk about that. But as far as this card right here goes, I still think that this card is A side dominant. You know what
For
I
sure.
mean? So I don't think that everybody on the A side is supposed to win. Although I think that this fight is gonna be tough for Rohan, I still have Rohan in the fight, bro. You know what I'm saying? I still
I
got
think
him in the fight.
I
So
think there's gonna be a test for Rohan just to see, like, cause you gotta understand, Top Rank knows how to move their fighters.
yeah,
So
no,
so
they got good matchmaking.
exactly. So Randall is a quote unquote stepping stone to see what's gonna be Rohan's next step. Meaning Randall, yeah, he doesn't have punching power, but his losses come from two notable people,
Yeah.
which one is Brian Norman Jr. and the
Hmm.
other one is Boca Chica.
Right.
So those are, two reputable names. I'm not saying they're the best names except for Norman on the resume, but I think with him beating Randall, I think Top Rank will start up in his competition. This is their way of saying, okay, you want the big shots? Let's see
Hmm.
how you do with this guy. Once you get past him, we'll go from there.
Damn. It's a damn shame that at 147, right? You know, damn, Nicholas Floss is ranked lower than Ryan Garcia, like, and
That doesn't matter
and
though.
Connor Ben is ranked like number 3, and like Devin Haney is ranked number 2. And you see the problem that I have with this, if you haven't noticed some of the guys that I actually mentioned, Devin Haney is ranked number 2 for the WBO at 147. Name Tell me a fight where Devin Haney came in 147. Out and go.
Never, never.
Okay. How
But
the hell are you in ranked? So they're gonna use the excuse, well, he fought at 144. Well, that in competing wise, you actually never made the division's minimum or maximum requirement, right? Like they're gonna say, well, what? It's 1 pound, so you can get the belt at 144. You're not supposed to get no goddamn belt at 144. So, what's your division called? You know what I mean? So,
well, you got Randall. He's ranked in the WBO. He's ranked 12. Nicholas Flies is 11. So if they're putting him against Randall, that's ranked 12, why can't his next fight be against Flies, who's ranked higher than Randall? You know what I'm saying? As his
yeah,
quote unquote next step up.
right,
You know what I'm saying? And
right.
that'll really separate the men from the boys. Because in my opinion,
Oh shit.
I think Flies will give Rohan a run for his money.
Oh shit. I don't know if you guys know this or if, but he was a legend in my time. Hulk Hogan died today.
Yeah, 71 years old.
Damn, he died
Damn.
today.
They
Fuck.
took the Hogan? Come on, Hulkamaniacs! I
Yeah.
used to like when the Macho Man would come out and he'd be looking for Elizabeth. Elizabeth, where are you? You're out with Hogan, aren't you? Yo,
Ozzy Osbourne took the train with him.
Yo, boxing outcome
ah,
se te acabó la rinda, because you've been on a rampage lately, pa.
Yeah, yeah, I know. That's on my page though.
yeah, yeah. He comes off his
Wait,
page from Rage Drunk, and he
hey,
just comes
Edwin.
stumbling onto my page like, "Hey, how you
Yo,
guys
Edwin,
doing? What's
No,
why
no,
up?"
no.
don't you?
I wanted to ask him like why the same with the rankings though, right? That's
Yeah,
what That's what I'm trying to understand. Why the fuck they do this, bro?
Why
Like
do
you were
they
just
do what?
explaining, like the Devin Haney thing. He never fought at 147. How they
Mhm.
rank? How they rank?
Papi, it's whoever got the deepest pockets.
Yeah, for sure. And then
And
the other thing is, look, if you look at the 154, right? It says
Mhm.
that Terrence Crawford is still the WBO interim world junior middleweight champion.
Yeah,
If he's
he
gonna
is.
fight Canelo at 168, why are they still why does he still hold that belt?
Okay, okay. The WBO interim is nothing anyway. It's
no,
whoever
no,
has
it's
the
BA.
okay, and as far as the WBA goes,
Yeah,
why
he
does
has
he?
that one also, right?
Yeah.
No,
Why did he was supposed to?
WBA is Joannis is the interim.
Right.
No, no, right. Terrence Crawford, they got W for the WBA. They got Terrence Crawford as the champion, but they
Correct.
also have him as the interim for the WBO.
No, they don't.
On the ring, on the boxing.live, they do.
Go to
Yeah,
boxing scene. Boxing scene's updated. Right now the WBO is vacant. That's
it's
what
vacant.
Xander
That's what Xander
and
Zaymer
Perez is
is
fighting
fight
for.
No,
for.
no,
Right.
right for the world junior middleweight, but they're trying to say that the WBO interim world junior middleweight champion is Terrence Crawford. I'm gonna share this link real quick, and then you
No,
guys.
you don't have to. You don't have to. I got it right here. I got it right here. I got it
Okay,
right here.
the
So the
box.live
WB.
or
Hold on. Wait. The WBO interim is Terrence Crawford.
so I don't understand these things. Like if he's fighting at a different, that's why I was asking you about the Duran Boots and his situation, because I was like, does he have to let go of the belts, or is it the day before the fight of at 154?
Okay. Okay. Right. The reason why you hold on to the WBO if you're fighting for another belt at a higher weight division, because it really doesn't matter. The WBO is the only organization that does not allow you to simultaneously hold two belts in two separate weight divisions. Like the WBA, you can be the 130-pound champion and the 135 simultaneously, just like Javante did, Tank Davis. But it's impossible to hold the WBO interim and win Saul's belt. If he happens to win Saul's belt, the second he wins Saul's belt, that interim disappears by law. It's
Yeah.
At
impossible
at
to
54.
yeah. So it really is his interest of, or hey, let it go. It doesn't matter. It's gonna go away regardless. But if he's to lose, will he come back down and honor that belt? Now, if you want to fight for the interim, that's okay. But Xander Zayes and Perez is gonna fight for the real one, the one that counts.
Yeah, yeah, for
And
sure. I know that.
and
Yeah.
as far as that WBA goes, you're right. But Terrence Crawford has never shown you that he was going to relinquish any belt. How long did he hold the 147-pound titles hostage? An entire year, until the IBF woke up and said, give us our belt, and upgraded Jerron Boots Ennis. As a matter of fact, since the time that Terrence Crawford got all four belts at 147, name me one time he defended them.
He
Name me
did.
one
He never took the fight with Boots.
Name me one time. What did he do with those belts from the moment he got them? They just collected dust. He held up people's careers. Those four belts could have been vacated a long time ago when people could have became and achieved their dreams of being world champion. But Terrence didn't care about their dreams. He didn't care about anybody else but himself. Naoya Inoue had four belts 30 days. 30 days after winning the last one, he vacated all belts, threw him back into the division, went up and said, let me get the toughest guy, Stephen Kubo Fulton, undefeated fighter, and said, yeah, I'll fight you. They said, Naoya Inoue, you don't got to vacate your belts. He said, for what? Hold up a division? So I hold up people's um, dreams of being a world champion? He goes, no, I know what I am. I'm a champion. I'm gonna move up here and I'm gonna whoop his ass, and I don't need these belts. What did Devin Haney do when he had all four belts and he moved up to 140 to fight Regis Progress?
He
He
vacated.
waited into the and to the week of the fight to relinquish the rest of the belts. Does that speak to uncertainty? There's guys that they know what they are. I don't got to hold on to these belts for what? I'm never coming back down here. I'm going that way. That's confidence. That's dominance.
Well,
And
not
these
for
guys
Haney,
have
not right
only
now. He backpedaling right
no.
now. He's trying to get out this
Oh, he
Norman
back.
fight.
Well, and here goes
You
Terrence
really think so?
Crawford.
You think he's trying to get out of that fight, or
Yeah,
you
that
think
No,
that
motherfucker.
you think we're
uh,
trying to point out a cheater that might be in the making?
No,
no.
he's second guessing his life decisions, fucking around with Norman.
Listen, you may feel like that. You got I give you all the respect in the world. Yep, you could feel like it. Great. I don't think he is. I think that Devin Haney's career can't suffer another meltdown or criticism of a kind of thing of pulling it out. You couldn't explain to the world why this fight wouldn't be happening if you somehow get an injury, get your eye cut, fucking you do some off the wall shit to get yourself out of this fight. I don't think that the fans will let him. He'll really like bury his career.
Yeah, but Edwin, the criticism and the pushback that Haney is getting right now
Yeah,
is with all the bullshit about the dope testing. That
Yeah,
being said,
yeah.
hold on, because I know you gotta defend them. Not you had, not
Stop
that
it.
you have to defend them because them checks will stop coming. But
Stop it. Stop it. You're crazy.
no check.
yo, but
The check will bounce.
hey yo, but what I'm saying is though, here's the problem, right? What he's trying to do is have Brian Norman Jr. do shit that's outside of the quote unquote contract. Now, mind you, none of us have read the contract. None of us know what's entitled in the contract. So it's all speculations. But I'm sure somewhere in that contract, there's a certain amount of time that you have to enroll into some type of drug testing. So that being whatever that time is, whether it's 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks, 18, whatever it is, that's when Norman Jr. has to enroll. Now, they're saying that he's ducking the quote unquote dope testing, the extended dope testing that's probably not in the contract. And Norman Jr. publicly said that he will do the doping as soon as he gets back from vacation. So my question is, why does anybody outside of Haney fans have a problem with him doing it once he gets back from vacation? You know what I'm saying? It ain't
Right.
like 2 weeks ain't gonna hide anything unless
You know what?
you know.
Yeah, but there's a boxer out there. I forgot who. I don't know if it was Mayweather, and I forgot against what opponent. But there was definitely somebody out there that kept um
It
wanting
was
to.
against it was against Pacquiao,
Was it that he kept trying to like that Pacquiao had to continuously um
test.
give
Yes,
tests and all this other shit.
and he
I
said
think
2 weeks, and Mayweather's team fought because they said that in 2 weeks it could be out of the system. That's all fine and dandy, but they were already in negotiations. And
Right.
that was part of the negotiation. That's why it took forever for that fight to be made. And this and what we're talking about now is Haney and Norman already signed a contract. So Norman's only obliging what's been written in the contract. It's not like the Haneys are the ones requesting for him to go out of contract and do extra shit that's not part of the contract. Koki, what's up, ah?
What
Yo,
up?
what's up? What's up, my people? What's up?
What's going
Outcome.
on?
What's up? Frontline. Edward in the house. Yo, bang bang, everybody in the chat. How you guys doing today?
We doing good, man. Talking a little boxing here, and would love to hear what you think on.
I don't want to get your. I don't want you to lose your checks, man. Because if I talk about Haney, bro, I'm the worst guy. I'm the worst guy. That's why, like on the boxing voice, I get banned on site. If
Yeah.
Ned sees my name, he bans me on site because
Wow, it's like
I am
that.
the Haney hater #1 in the world, yo. You cannot find
Yeah.
a better Haney hater than me. I promise you.
Coquis like Jimmy to Subriel,
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I'm
but
bad,
Wow, that's
but
bro.
but
bad. That's
times ten.
bad.
But times 10.
I
That's
used to not
bad.
like Haney,
Bro,
but
I've written novels. I've written novels on Haney's strategic, weight bullying because at 135, he mysteriously rehydrates 25 pounds. And then when
Well,
you box, I'm sure
hold
you guys
on,
Yep.
did.
Coqui, hold on. I love you,
Yep.
brother, but this is where I'm going to disagree with you on the whole weight bully shit. We talked about this before. My theory on weight bully is a motherfucker that never makes weight. If they make weight at their contracted weight, that's not a weight bully because they made the weight. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Um, but I know where you're aiming with it. I don't agree with the weight bully
right.
term. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
as a wrestler and as a boxer, when I used to
Right.
weigh in, we used to rehydrate, the day of, right? And usually, rehydration is like 10 to 15 pounds.
Hmm.
So my thing is there's no scientific explanation to rehydrate 25 pounds, literally 25, not 15, not 18,
Yeah.
not 20.
Yeah.
25 pounds. There's no scientific explanation for that. And there's never been. The thing is, the Haneys, they hide that shit well. They got people that support them, and the Contes and down the West Coast. So they got all that stuff on lock. But the thing is, nobody on Haney's team. Nobody has explained how he rehydrates so much. Because I've seen guys. Remember Paul Williams? Paul Williams at 147.
Yep. Yep.
He fought Quintana. Remember the
Yep.
Boricua
Yep.
that
Yep.
the
Yep. Yep.
southpaw.
Yep. Yep.
So Paul Williams was a big guy, and he
Yep.
used to rehydrate too. But
Yep.
his shit was like 15 pounds. It was never like a 25-pound rehydration, And there's something that the Haneys do that I know for sure. For me, because look, my major in college was exercise science. I studied the body. I do physical therapy. Like
Mhm.
I study all about like how much the body can retain water. I study all that, and Haney cannot do it without an IV or something to have him, be to retain that weight and not be, So that's my only thing. My bad, guys. Cause I actually came here for a break. I
Yeah.
gotta
Nah, you
run. I
good.
gotta run to work. But yo,
Nah.
frontline
But
But yo, here's
outcome.
no,
another
no,
thing
no,
that
no. Wait,
nobody
wait, wait,
talks
wait, wait,
about.
wait, 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 front line. Wait, front line.
Canelo
Wait.
making 170.
Wait,
I mean
wait.
168.
Koki, before you leave, I need you to hear this. Frontline, your statement about Devin Haney not being a weight bully. Until you're in a ring with a guy and you actually check in, that they tell you at the scale, this guy made weight, and you're obviously in the ring with him, and you look up and this dude is huge. You notice that your skills, you're hitting this guy and your punches not are affecting him because he's just clearly the much bigger fighter. Until you're faced with something like that, will you not appreciate fighting guys at your normal weight? And then you really understand weight bullying because you're like, bro, had we been the same size, I beat that guy. But because my punches didn't affect him, because it's like fighting a much bigger guy. It's like you had being a little brother and you punching your big brother. Your big brother's not bothered by it. He's too much bigger than you. And no matter if you're skilled, eventually somebody's gonna knock out Nail Ya anyway. Because why? Why is it gonna happen? Because you're gonna drag them all the way up to these bigger divisions where skill is not gonna matter. So when Devin was fighting these guys, and if these rumors are all true, 26 pounds over, 28 pounds heavier than your opponent on fight night. 20, once you start hitting that 20 mark and you're still moving like that, you're like, shit. Now, being an exceptional athlete as a young man, I consider myself pretty good, a great gifted athlete. And until you're either know somebody like it or you're like that yourself, that you won't understand that we're not the same, bro. All of us don't cut the weight the same. Some of us got our muscles. I don't know. Your fucking body knows how to adjust it, weight at it way better than mine. and I could cut 16, 18 pounds overnight. Gone. And then rehydrate all that back up the next day. But you couldn't do it. And I could do it effortlessly as a
That's
young
snack
man.
for you.
Okay, but
No,
Edwin, no,
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 no snack, no nothing. I'm in the fucking boys club fighting 3 rounds.
right. So Edwin, explain a little bit about that. So how does that happen? If no es arroz habichuela, so like
No,
what
listen.
is it? What do they mainly eat? Pasta?
No,
They
it's not
stuff
that.
themselves with
It's your
pizza? What is
human,
it?
it's your skeleton. What what version of the human body you were given, and do you work at it and perform it at its highest? Bro, there's some people that can't lose a fucking pound to save their life, and they eat nothing, and they monitor these people. And there's people like me, bro. I can cough, shit, and fart 5 pounds like that, and I could gain it like
So
this.
so let me ask you this, Edwin. Since we're talking, I'm an idiot when it comes to the human body, as far as like how the human body retains something. How, you know what I'm
We're
saying?
not the
My
same.
question is, but hold on.
Yep,
What Koki said, because Koki does that for a living. He
yep.
studied the body. He's a physical therapist. That being said, what he mentioned about the only way that you can rehydrate your body to get to that level is with IVs and shit like that. And I'm sure they got other tricks.
That's
That
not
being
true.
said, well, like I said, he said IV and other tricks.
Yeah, there are for men,
Okay,
many, but there's young kids that can do it without all that shit, but to a
right.
certain point,
So
and
the
then they get older,
question,
they can't do it no more. Then you're gonna need those IVs and shit. You're definitely gonna need that shit.
okay, so let's just for argument's sake, let's talk about the Haney's that they came in 20 something pounds over whatever.
That's ridiculous.
How can they achieve that on fight night, where, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
IVs for rehydration are illegal in boxing
Yes. When
before the fight.
yeah, 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 yeah.
You can
You
you
know,
can catch you can get an IV bag
but no,
after,
no, 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 no. You can request it through the athletic committee of the city or country you're in
right?
before you take the IV. You, listen, I need it, or the fight's gonna get canceled. He's doing bad. We need this. You get a doctor come in from their side. They give you the nod, and sometimes in some cases they'll allow it. Okay, all right. And if you're on, TV, just on a live stream, freaking getting in, your name is Ryan Garcia, I guess you can get away with it. I don't know, right? Okay, but no, you're not supposed to do that before that, right? Okay, what Devin is doing, um, it's not unique. That's the problem. In a lot of gyms I've been, I've seen. Look at Sebastian Fundora cutting weight. Look at Espinoza at 126 at 6 fucking 1. What are they doing? And you don't think that all that height plays an advantage rather than Devin Haney's 20 something pounds?
For sure.
There's every guy is trying to get an advantage. Every guy is not fighting in their weight division. There's very few guys that are their natural in their, like Subriel. Subriel walks around 10, 15 pounds from his fighting weight.
18. He said 18 is his max. 158 is the most he's
Right.
ever walked around at.
Look at that. He's a natural 140 pounder. There's not a lot of fighters like that. Everybody wants an advantage. But what Devin Haney was doing and has been doing, he's going to pay for it later in life. All that draining that water out of all your organs can't be good. And rehydrating like that, it can't be good for you.
But Edwin, the IV, does that really help you gain weight? I actually thought that when you're in a hospital you lose weight.
No, okay. Because of the fact that you're like 80% the human body is water. It's water.
Right.
Right? When you cut weight, what happens is the brain is the first organ to release all its waters. Then the rest of your organs release all their water, the kidney, the liver, all of that. You start to shed all the water out of your body. You are dehydrated. Your skull is it's so dehydrated that it's sucking away from the sides of your brain, right? It's like that. Your brain's here and it's like leaving your skull. It's more subtle inside, but I'm making a wide margin, but it's more subtle inside. So the chances of me walking up to you and hitting you, knocking you out is extremely high. So now what you do is you replenish the water. And if you can't get it into the body and the body can't take it within your 36-hour window, the fastest way to get it in, your blood, get it in. And they pump the water into you, the IVs, and they start the process of your kidneys getting filled, your liver's getting filled. Because as we all know, the last organ in the human body to take water in is the human brain. So you're gonna have to fill up your body, not be dehydrated, your liver, your kidneys, get everything to start functioning again, and
Yo,
hope you get enough water in your brain for fight night.
so two things. Number one, Mr. Miyagi, super chat, $5. He says, salute,
Oh
Edwin.
man.
That weight gain reminds me of Jamie McDonald coming into fight Inoue at 144 when he was at 118. Is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was 5'10. None of that mattered with skill, position, punching, and good power in your hands. Naoya Inoue shut that shit down, packed that boy up in 1 round, and walked off with his belt in his home country.
Here's a
Naoya
question I got
flew
that
out there.
nobody's talking about. I don't know if it's rumors or not, but on the Sean Porter podcast,
Yeah.
when they interviewed Victor Conti, they asked him, can he cheat Vada? And according to Victor Conti, he stated yes. So
Yeah.
my question is, if you can cheat Vada, what good is Vada if there's a way of cheating it?
What's up, boys? Been crying. Listen, look, everything in the world is a cat and mouse game. You know, there's these agencies that are looking to catch these athletes. And when people start buying into the theory that, oh shit, all these people are working with each other in cahoots, then what good is it to be standing around in the Vada fucking at the Vada bubbler, right? Getting some water with everybody else talking and saying, who have you caught today? Who's your highest catch athlete, that your celebrity moment in the office? What do you think those guys that try to catch these athletes, what do you think they talk about? Busting your fucking ass and making national news with your name. You think these doping agencies are playing around? You think they're just gonna catch you and catch and release? Brother, if I'm the guy that catches you, come on, my
I
name's gonna
think
be
Terrence
attached to
Crawford is
you,
gonna be Canelo September, yo.
right? So these doping agencies are not on your side. They're not on your side. And this thing about whether or not Victor Content ever worked for WADA, or whatever, right? Or foundered or talked the lady that is the chair, the head, how to establish a doping or referred fightings. One of the first people to refer their fighters to VADA, right? Does not mean that Victor Content in any regards or any shape or way was ever in a payroll or worked for VADA. Out of his own mouth and all the tapes I've ever seen in my life, I've heard Victor Content himself in a video that some dude was making a video about how he can prove that Victor started VADA and was like one of the people. Look, just because you gave me ideas about something or you gave me structure on how it should be funded, your name wasn't on the list, on the deed for ownership, was it? At what point did you ever work for me? Yeah, you might have gave me advice. You might have sent fighters my way so that my company can take off. right? So that I can show people, look, I'm testing these kind of fighters. So you've helped me like I've helped you, Victor Content. You sent me fighters, and your fighters are getting tested, and they're being stamped certified by our organization. Thank you for the advice, but you've never built shit.
Wait. You just mentioned the organization, but did you mean the council, the athletic council commission, whatever of the state?
No, okay. VADA is a doping agency that's
Right, but
been
is
hot.
that nationwide?
Yes, it tests
Okay.
his. See, but VADA it's out. You got to hire them. See, they're
Okay.
not like the agency that typically every whatever town or city you're in, let's say New York Boxing Athletic Committee, they call their guys. They'll usually call who? VADA, WADA, whatever, have whatever doping agency they obtain. And then the fighter themselves can also hire them
Gotcha.
to
So that's what Haney's doing, right? He's
right,
basically trying
right,
to pay for.
right, right. Haney is trying to like do this stupid thing where that he just knows that Brian Norman Jr. is being tested at all this time, trying to put stupid pressure on him that has nothing to do but also safety requirements because Devin Haney's waking up in the middle of the night, PE flashbacks. You know what I'm saying? What happened with the last dude on PEs and what happened to him? So he's like, no, I want him on doping. I want him on testing. Like, you know what I'm saying? But hey, if that's how he feels to get to the fight, okay. And Brian Norman said, yo, you're not getting out of this fight, kid. Devin Haney, you ain't going nowhere. You fucked up when you signed this fight, right? So I'm gonna do your testing. I'm gonna sign up. I'm gonna jump through those hoops. Just make sure you there. So it's more of a mindset, mind shit with them two right now.
Yeah, I think it's just mental. Because
But
honestly,
but I don't think none of them are backing out. I don't. I
I
hope
don't.
not.
No,
I
they
hope
shouldn't.
not.
They shouldn't, because if Haney fucks up this money, Turkey's not is never gonna give him another contract again. And on top of that, a lot of other promoters are not gonna want to fuck with him.
Well,
You want me to read it for you out loud?
Man, it's not even worth it.
that I was scared to ask some questions. That I was glazing. No, first of all, boys be crying. Right? Check this out. The 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 interview wasn't mine. That's not my show. First of all, and if Turkey came on my show, I would respect the fact that you guys shut up and allow me to talk on my own show, my platform that I built. And he built that shit over 14 years, right? So out of respect, right? And also feeling the room. With a guy like Turkey, I don't want to be Teofimo Lopez. I don't want to say something, offend anybody's feelings, right? So I took it under the narrative that I'll get another time. I'll have another moment. I asked what I felt were two interesting questions. I left it like that, right? My first experience, but I was a part of it. So check and experience, right?
Bucket list, baby.
Yeah. And also, right, you can't hate that I was a part of the interview. How many interviews and how many platforms is Turkey going on? So when you watch it, yeah, that's cool for me, but learning experience as I go through this right here, man, I ain't no
Listen, that was good,
journalist.
bro.
I ain't
Because
yeah, man. I'm
you gotta think about, you went to see Matias. You say you were like 5 feet away from him.
yeah,
Any
with Turk.
closer, security probably would have got involved.
Oh
But
yeah.
the whole thing is, you got to. He don't interview with normal podcasts and low people,
Yeah.
like, or normal people like us, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, he's
We've
not
never
going
seen
to.
him in any other podcast.
Yeah.
I've never seen him in any other podcast.
And I can actually say I talked to the man and he talked back to me. He answered my question. You know what I'm saying? Like we have a conversation. Basically we boys and shit. We're gonna go have lunch right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Yo, did I came in late? Did you talk about Zayas already or not yet?
yeah, we talked about Zayes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Man, you should have been around, bro.
I'll be.
We
I
gave a
was.
whole insight, detail analysis. We had an expert come on, do the X's and O's. We ran like all kinds of geological on the
Different
day.
playbooks and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, we sacrificed a chicken, blue
We
cigar
sacrificed
smoke.
Berlanga, you mean?
You know
So
what I'm
so
saying?
so so
And
the final question is in the expert analysis, did he give his take on who's gonna win and how?
wait a minute, wait a minute. You're moving too fast. Those are, I think as we get closer on way and make sure that everybody checks in, I will be looking at the crystal ball, giving final predictions. Because as we all know, things are subject to change, but at least I know one thing for sure, and I don't need this crystal ball to guess this. Bam Bam Boogie has unanimous decision. He's going to unanimous decision, and he's taking Xander Zayes. So you can mark that in the bank for Bam Bam Boogie. That will be his prediction.
I
But
think it's I think it's gonna go TKO because I feel like
TKO?
yeah, I feel like a TKO is gonna happen. You know why? Because I feel like Garcia doesn't really
Who
like
we
he can
got?
last against his opponent, but if he ends up taking a high volume of punches, the referee is gonna stop the fight. I feel like he can't really run away from Zayas in that ring.
Hmm. Hold on. Frontline's getting a call from Bill Haney. He has to take that call. Yeah, I mean, Frontline got to check in with Bill Haney. So
Yeah,
he,
I
he,
just I
he
just
probably,
talked to him.
he is, yeah, everything's okay. You getting them
No,
checks in?
it's not okay.
Oh, shit.
It's not okay. He doesn't agree with the bullshit that the Normans are pulling,
Oh,
and he thinks that the Normans are dirty because they refuse to take extra drug testing.
oh, shit.
So he's
Yo.
saying he's saying that he might pull out the fight
Oh,
because something funny's going on.
wow.
And Victor Conti suggested that they pull out as well. So that's the new.
Really? Okay. See what I'm saying? See who's getting the real checks around here?
Hey yo, I hope nobody believes the shit I just said. Cause somebody will be like, "Oh, on Round One Sports Talk, they said that they got a phone call from Bill Haney, and they said that they might pull out." Yo, that's just a fucking joke, people.
That shit'll go viral.
Yeah, that
And,
should have go
and, and
about.
my
Yeah,
whole shit.
Frontline was on Round
Ah,
One, and he said he got a phone call from Bill Haney, and
yo, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Frontline just admitted to the world that them Haney checks is really coming in. They're a real thing. It's
shit,
a
I
real
didn't get
thing.
new earrings. I didn't
You know
get a
what I
new
mean? Oh, yo,
bike.
yo, 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 yo.
I-
Why are we bringing up old shit? You know what I'm saying? That was last month. You know what I'm saying? Stop
oh,
it.
you still waiting for the new check to come in, huh?
Oh, it hasn't cleared yet. Yeah, I guess Bill's mad at me. You know what I mean?
So
Yo.
yeah, before I got the phone call,
Yeah.
um, so did the experts? I lost you when I asked you the question, so I'm gonna go back to it. Did the experts give you a breakdown on who and how they're gonna win?
Well, my where I wanted to go with it was my final thing is I'm more along the lines with the odds makers and what Vegas sees it. They think if Xander does get the stoppage, it's going to be late between 7 all the way up to 12, somewhere around there. They have Xander Zion, the slight favorite in the fight. They understand that Chino, very dangerous fighter, but they believe that Xander Zion has the ability and the technical boxing ability, ring generalship, and ring IQ to really frustrate Chino.
Yeah,
And whether it goes to the decision they see or stoppage, odds maker has Xander Zion is the favorite. Now, just to give Chino his respect, because you know how I do. I'm highly on the fact that you got to give the other guy on the other side of the street his respect. So when he beats him, don't turn around and say he beat a cab driver or a bum. Call it like it is. Give that guy his respect, so that he can get good wins because Chino has that Conwell win. He
Yep.
beats Chino, then like, what I mean, he absorbs his power, bro. Like, what I mean? He basically beat Conwell. You know what I'm saying? So I know that's some bullshit right there. But
No,
hey,
dude,
you know,
nobody expected Conwell to lose that fight, to be
no,
honest.
no,
So Chino showed up and showed out, you
yeah,
know, and it's
that's
not like he
a
beat Conwell in a
big win.
disturbing manner, but he beat
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
It
And
wasn't a robbery. It wasn't,
no,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah, he beat him.
So that's that. Yo, that's a good question that Mr. Miyagi has. It's Shushu's next opponent. Does anybody know anything about him?
And does he stop him in 4?
And does he stop in him for? Now, the only thing I can say is that this dude is undefeated. He's 14-0 with 9 knockouts. He's African. He's the African dude. Um, Let me see his resume. Looks like everybody he's fought was probably European or South African or African for that nature. So, nope. Mr. Miyagi, I can't help you, brother. I don't know who the dude is, but it doesn't mean because we don't know him, he's not any good.
We just trust in in American boxing, and for me, honestly, I think that Shushu should have the skills. He has the speed. He has the power. I mean, he should come
Okay,
out victorious.
okay, guys. Okay, one thing you can bet: Top Rank knows how to match these boys up. All right, Top Rank matchmaking and the way they set up their stars for success. You better believe that the reason why Rohan Polanco is fighting his guy is because his style caters to that fighter. You better believe Bruce Carrington has been put in the position to fight an undefeated fighter, but technically they believe highly he's favored to win this fight. You understand? Top Rank knows how to do that, but sometimes Top Rank lets go of the leash. And
Hey,
these fighters,
Edwin,
yeah,
speaking of upcoming fights, have you been in communication with Keith Colon's father or Keith Colon? I think he's got an upcoming fight coming up, don't he?
I have to check in with that. I haven't had time uh with all the like working out in the morning, taking that on and hopping on here and there and I haven't had time to get back to him, but I can reach out to him. Yeah. Want to see what if anything, what are you talking about? You think they put him on that November card?
No, 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 no. It's a local card out of Philly. I think he was interviewed yesterday on Vic Season, and
Oh, I got to check that out. All
they
right.
it wasn't a live. It was a premiere, like a pre-recorded one. But
Right, right, right.
he mentioned something about fighting up a fight come upcoming. He doesn't know who his rival is yet, but I just wanted to. He didn't really talk much about it, but if he is fighting, I would like to know where we can watch it and
Right,
against too.
right. And this guy that Bruce
Say what again?
Carrington is fighting
Repeat
is
that. You trying to see the fight or something?
No, I'm trying to see where they're gonna play the fight. If it's gonna be like on Fight TV or what
Or
network
that
they're
they
gonna
got the
broadcast it on.
new, they got that new website. What is it called? Like millions.co and shit. I forget what it's
What's
called.
what's that?
They have a there's this new website where people stream, and they've been doing some fights there now too. Like, I don't
Nah,
know,
we
because
don't stream
you know
over
Danny,
here. We
because
support boxing over here.
mm, mm, mm.
well, Danny Swift Garcia, his promotion, he decided to do a couple cars through the millions.co thing,
Oh
through
yeah.
that platform.
Yo,
And
imagine this card is set up A side heavy and majority of the A sides dudes gets wiped down, bro. What if this guy comes out of nowhere with a little 14-9 record
and
and
sup-
really, yo,
and surprises Shushu.
Yeah.
That's possible. Yo, what's up with these Dominican channels getting are they still hurt with the
They
Puello loss?
hurt, bro. They hurt. Don't bring that shit up. You're gonna open up old wounds.
I
You know
don't
what I'm
give a
saying?
fuck. I'm gonna open it
Listen,
up.
they are salty. They are not letting this victory or this loss fucking age well. Like they
Puello,
just
Bro,
Puello, Puello knew he didn't do enough.
nah. He didn't. He didn't
I
do
mean,
enough.
let's get
He knew it.
past that. Let's get past that right now. I mean, they're getting at Oscar Collazo. They're getting at Janquiel Rivera. They're getting at Rene
They're trying
Santiago.
to tear us down
Bro,
because
they're
we took the
saying,
lead.
so check it out. They're saying that Mini Pac-Man, who's fighting in Japan,
Yep.
I don't know when. I think it's the 30th, maybe. I don't
He's
know when,
oh,
but
yep.
it's up and coming.
Yep.
Supposedly, he's got it tough with whatever Japanese fighter he's fighting. I don't know who it
Yep.
is.
Yep.
So they're saying that Oscar Collazo's scared to go up to 108 and face him.
Mm.
Well, hold on a second. You guys are going for a unified Puerto Rican fighter when we have a champion in that current weight division, Rene El Chulo Santiago. Why are
Right.
you not calling him out?
Right. He's in the same weight division as you.
Exactly. Why are you not? He's not 108. Why don't you guys call him out? You know what I'm saying? Then you got Rohan Polanco trying to get at Subriel, where I like Rohan. Don't get me wrong. I like him. But let's be honest. Who has he fought to deserve a Subriel fight? That's one. Number two, Subriel has never, Rohan has never made 140 in his career. The lowest fight that he's ever taken was at 144. So what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, we can go. I think we went through this before, and we'll go through it again. Dominicans 160, or well, let's go 175. I don't think they have anybody up there. 160, 168. I mean, who do they got?
There's nobody but 160. They got I mean
Oh,
Carlos
El
Adames,
Bronco. They got El
El Bronco.
Bronco.
Yeah, they got Bronco. So,
Okay,
uh, but their only current champions right now.
is
Uh,
Eric Rosa, Mini Pacman. I think he's got the IBF at 108. Let me see.
um,
Vamos a bajar.
Yeah, and Carlos Adames got the WBC.
So at 108, you got Eric Rosa, who's the WBA.
their highest champion is at 160. Is Carlos Adames is their biggest champion.
Yeah, for
That's what
sure.
they.
His style of
So you
fighting
got
and everything, it makes sense. Like he's good at what he does.
right. So as far as listed champions right now, they got one. Uh,
We're not counting interims. We're
no, no,
talking about belt holders.
homeboy. Where at 108 does he have Dominican
At
belt?
108, it's the WBA. Eric
Oh,
Rosa. That's
oh,
the
okay. So
Dominican
that's
kid.
why they don't show it. All right, yeah, 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 yeah. My fault, my fault. Okay,
He's
so
got
they got two champions.
exactly. So since when? Since when is Dominican fighting or Dominican boxing on top of Puerto Rico?
They just because they're competing with us, but we're not competing with them.
Well,
The thing is the honest truth is this, right? All right. Uh, quietly is kept. Alberto Puello was their best fighter. He was their best champion as quiet. He's better than Bronco, right? Bronco might be bigger, but Alberto Puello was the best. When
skill
we
wise.
well, yes, when we defeated Bronco, it kind of it was like the
Puello, you
same.
mean. Puello,
I mean,
Puello, not
I'm
Bronco.
sorry, Puello. Yes, thank you. When we defeated Alberto Puello, the same came out. Shit was just good just a week ago.
Hmm.
Just a week ago, they were on top. Now the tables changed. They don't want to accept it. They don't want to accept the position that we were just in. Now they find themselves in that position. So now they're screaming from rooftops. And the one thing that I was overwhelming and what you were, eloquently just breaking down here with them calling out our fighters, that I couldn't help but notice they were all calling smaller guys out. They wanted guys to come up from the smaller weight division to meet the much bigger fighter. And Rohan Polanco fights at 147. He wants to fight smaller Subiel at 140. The other guy wants to fight our guy Oscar Collazo, which is a weight division down. So they're beating their chest on calling out smaller guys and fights that haven't occurred. Where's the credit you guys are looking for?
And I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna be 100% honest. With the up and coming Dominican fighters, I think personally that John Santana will be before, and I mean this, before Rohan Polanco. I think John Santana will be their next world champion.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something right now, right? Is Dominican boxing hanging on by a thread to being a potential country that can solidify himself as another Latin powerhouse? As we all know, the two leading Latin countries in the world is Mexico and Puerto Rico. That's how it goes. And
Yep.
Dominica wants to like nudge their way in. Is their reputation and history as a boxing country, is it hanging by a thread right now? Can they take a Rohan Polanco loss right now?
No.
Can they take? I'm trying to tell you, is it really hanging by a thread? Let's think about it. Are they going to go back to obscurity? That every single time they get to this little pinnacle where they start to make some noise, it just
And that's what I'm trying to say. If big if even this weekend, let's just say Rohan against Randall. Let's just say Randall surprises the shit out of everybody and beats Rohan in a decision. Because
what happens to Dominican boxing?
I don't think. See, that's the thing. They think because they have the undefeated fighters that they're better. It doesn't, dude. The fucking greats took losses.
Listen,
That doesn't make them better.
and fuck around, and one of the Sardario brothers goes down. He goes down. Carlos Adames loses his next fight. Like, they're back in fucking shit. How
Hasn't
easy?
Adames lost already though?
No, yeah, well, no, he's got his belt, so that's where we're at. We're right there. That's
Oh,
where we're
Carlos
at.
Adames, he's undefeated.
Is he?
Yeah, I
Carlos
think he
Adames,
is. Yes, I believe he is.
undefeated. Bro, he got good head movement in the ring. He
Oh,
is
I might
almost
have
like
been
a
thought.
triangle. Huh?
I've been maybe thinking that he knew something about it, some amateur or some shit that he lost, or I
No,
don't
no,
know
no, no,
about
no.
any of that
I
My
was
shit.
bad,
just
my
speaking in
bad. You know
general.
what? He
No, he
does.
Oh
does have
no, in
one
general,
loss.
no, and I'm speaking in general. No, he has the belt now. He's undefeated now. He has it. That's where we're at, and that's
Yeah.
how I'm judging him. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So
I don't
until
judge him
he
by his
loses,
loss. I'm just speaking
yeah.
in general.
Okay. But until they beat him in a ring and take that belt or whatever. But that's what I'm just bringing to you know. Puerto Rico boxing has solidified and it made its mark in the sport of boxing. That even if we were to lose our champions, we're still viewed as one of the top leading Latin countries because we're stamped, we're certified. That's what Dominican Republic is so desperately searching for. That support from the boxing world and people coming out to see their fighters. You know, Manny Pacquiao really did it for the Filipinos. Naoya Inoue is doing it for Japan. Saul and many, many Mexican fighters have done it for their country as well, being stamped. And that's what I'm talking about, being certified in the sport. And are we there yet?
All
Are
right,
we
so I
there?
was right. Carlos Adames does have a loss. He lost against Patrick Teixeira.
Yeah, he does. My bad.
He does. All right. So
Gotcha.
look, and check this out, guys. Check this out. If yeah, if he was to lose, um, what's his name there?
Oh, Carlos
Ah,
Adames
Juan
next
no,
fight.
no,
Polanco.
Polanco, Rohan Polanco. Yeah, I don't know why his name
Okay.
be getting out of my head. If he was to lose, what do you guys think? How would they take that? It doesn't look like they're taking the Sobriel victory over their guys so well. I don't think they could afford another big loss. That would really hurt them, you know? So yeah, man, this is how this sport is. It was all good just a week ago.
Edwin, for Rohan Polanco, what are his best chances to becoming a world champion versus Mario Barrios or Rolly?
Okay. Being the fact that now all of a sudden that IBF title has became vacant and Jerron Boots Ennis has he said that he wants to move up in weight and everything. So I think that there's gonna be more than opportunity there. The easiest road to go in any weight division for me is the WBA. The easiest road to a belt is the WBA. That's the easiest. The most prestigious belt is the WBC. Like that one, that opportunity that Subir got, that was a big opportunity for him as a Puerto Rican fighter to get that WBC. You know, not a lot of Puerto Rican guys got them Well, they did. Actually, they did. But and like, you know, whatever. We'll talk about that some other day. But it's a good belt to have, that WBC, you gotta admit. So Rohan Polanco, best way to a world title fight.
If he's
What would
fighting a current champion, I would say Mario Barrios.
yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
would say too.
Because you got to understand, Rolly's just the regular champion, and Boots is
Okay.
the.
Okay, since we're making predictions, right? And we're speaking hypotheticals, then let me speed up the clock. At this point, Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney would have fought. Let's say in a crazy world, Devin Haney wins that fight. I would rather put Rohan Polanco with Devin Haney for that belt than fighting Brian Norman Jr.
For sure.
You see?
For sure.
So if some things might change, I don't know how much longer Mario Barrios can play this tightrope dance with this WBC world title and how long they're gonna fucking back him here. And is this possibility with a rematch with Manny Pacquiao? Is there any truth to that? I don't want to see that shit again. Um, and what the hell is gonna Deron Boots Ennis gonna do with the WBA? And are they gonna upgrade Rolly as full status? Because remember, Rolly beat bullshit ass Ryan for the interim or regular belt, whatever they want to call it, means the same thing, right? Uh, which they never even fought in the division up until that point.
So
And all of a sudden, they're the regular champion.
they
Fucking
gave
crazy, ugly
they
work.
gave the belt to Rolando Romero. They did, and I don't know on your side if you can see it, but they put Jerron Boots Ennis number 4 on the WBO list for the 154.
Wow.
Where,
So
where, where you get your reports from,
This
Outcome?
is Box.live.
yeah, it's always underneath the source, the box out live. It's always when you look it under. It's
Well,
always under.
boxing scene's got Boots Ennis as the WBA champion, and then Rolly as the regular.
No,
Yeah.
they still got as the ring champion. They still got Jerron Boots Ennis, but at 154, they got him ranked at number 4 already. And they got Rolando Romero with the belt at WBA.
All right, hold on.
You said at 54?
Yeah,
I don't see Boots ranked there yet.
hold on. Okay, at 54, they have Jerron Boots Ennis ranked 4. He say his claim is the
Oh, on the
WBO.
WBO. Yes, yes, yes. They got him above Erickson Lubin. I see it.
Uh-huh. Oh, he's number 4.
Yeah, he's number 4. Yo, Edwin, you know what's one of the things, you know how you be you came at Devin Haney one time, or not Devin Haney, but Bill Haney, talking about how speak on your son being great and forget about the other names and everything.
Mhm.
Yo, why you should have brought up the fact that when Turkey started talking about Boots wanting a tune-up fight, you should have told them mainly when people move up in weight after being champions in other divisions, when they move up in weight, they're not fighting a champion right away.
They're not fighting a champion right away.
Even though Virgil Ortiz is an interim for the
Ah, Miss
WB.
Miyagi left. Yeah, I know. I look that that interim championship can be a curse. That shit can be a curse because you could become an interim champion and never get your shot at the world title because the organization is getting 2 checks. They get one out of you and one out of the champion. Why would they want to put both of you to fight and one guy now you only got one guy paying you?
Yeah, but if you get elevated or if you win the main fight, doesn't the interim become vacant?
Yeah, it'll become vacant, right? So the organization is gonna lose one guy paying.
Nah, because I'm sure they'll have somebody else fight for it
Oh yeah,
to get
until
that.
that happens. Until that happens, 5, 6 months scheduled down the line, a thing. We don't got no paychecks coming in for that belt. Or if we got anybody willing to sign up to fight for it. Because sometimes fighters don't want to fight for it. Sometimes fighters pass on the option of paying for an interim belt. They see no value in it. Because in reality, yes, it's a confident booster. It's a piece of a world championship. But if you have a piece of a world champion, you're not champion. So who has the real belt? That's the belt you want to fight for. You see, because when it's all said and done, the arguments are always going to arise. Wait a minute. Did you have the regular or did you have the real one? And that's why the WBA is frowned upon in a lot of websites and they're not recognized as champions. Because what the WBA is trying to sell to the public that they can be 2 world champions at the same time in every weight division. The regular and the super must get honored as real world champions for the WBA. And the rest of the boxing world said, nah, we're not going along with that. You cannot have 2 champions simultaneously be awarded champion status. One of them is not champion. Now decide which one. Is it the super or is it the regular? But the WBA structure for their belt, the regular fights all the mandatories. So if you
So
got a
basically, they're contenders.
the regular got to face the mandatories. So the regular is saying, if I got to fight all the number 1 guys in the mandatories to this super guy asshole's belt, then shouldn't I be the real champion? He has a valid claim. Now, the super champion has already defended the title by 5 times at this point. It's the only way you can be awarded super champion for the WBA. You have to have 5 title defenses. So once he gets title defenses, he's just allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants. He doesn't have to honor any mandatories. So the WBA lost their mind when it came to their rules for their belt. That's why the top the box rec said, fuck you and your belt. We're not even acknowledging your belt. Your belt's a joke. And that's what happened.
I'm gonna have to get off and get back on. I can't be above this. I gotta be big boy.
I would like to see Carlos Adames against Johnny Beck, try to unify, but I don't know. I think they all want big money.
Yo, did that one freeze?
He has been hacked.
Oh, I'm still here.
Oh,
Bam! I'm
you're the little
back.
guy now. You're the little guy now.
What you mean I'm the little guy? Hey, we can't have none of that shit. What's going on, man? Oh my god, I got put to the little guy spot on my own show, and I can't even control the but. Oh wait, what's going on here? Oh, back over. Wait, well, oh, this is
There you
crazy.
go.
Now,
You just
fun,
like that, right there.
just
That's
like that,
it.
fun line. I'm
That's
sure
it.
you would, huh? Look. This is crazy. Wait, bam, huh? Huh? How about that? Huh? Huh?
Mr.
That's
Miyagi, what's
perfect.
up, bud?
That's supposed
Mr.
to be.
Yo, how's it
Miyagi.
going?
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, I can neither confirm nor deny that was my doing. You know, letting the Chinese in the chat.
Yes. Now you want launch codes. Okay. What's up, Mr. Miyagi? Talk to us. What's on
Hey,
your mind?
hey, Edwin, you know what? I've got a little bone to pick with you, actually.
Okay.
Hey,
It
let him
made,
have it, Mr. Miyagi. Let him have
hey,
it. Don't hold back.
hey, I was watching you on the boxing voice. It must have been like a couple of weeks ago because I ain't been on. I ain't been on able to catch any of your lives for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And you and Ness were out going back and forth, and he was teasing you about Inouye's resume and stuff like that. And I dropped the
Right.
super chat in, and I sent you a message on Instagram saying I got your back.
Yeah.
And you're on there, and you're saying, I don't know what this guy is. This guy right? Like, come on, man, you know it's me.
What?
You're acting like, oh, is this guy making sense? You know, like acting like, oh, nah,
I
he don't know
remember
this
the
guy.
moment. I remember you sending me the super the thing and you saying, "Yeah, I got your back." Right? And then yeah, I think I misread something or something. I was clicking through and it didn't dawn on me until like later that I was like, wait a minute, that was Mr. Miyagi, right? So I was like, shit. Or I remember some shit like that happening. But trust me, if and I'm a bonehead like that sometimes.
No,
Things will
no,
go
no.
right over my head, and I'll be
It just made me laugh because
yeah.
I was like thinking in my head, oh, he knows, and I'm just here, like he's just playing the part, so Ness doesn't catch on that I'm here
Oh,
trying to
I
help
probably
him.
did. I probably did. We're in on it together. You're my poker partner. You know what I'm saying? But let's be on some bullshit sometimes. So sometimes like I gotta call. You gotta challenge him on his shit, right? And it's obvious Nets is set in his ways. He don't like them little dudes. He's never gonna like them. He feels like because he's a big man by stature. When I met him, I was like, "What the fuck? That dude, he's like 6'5", 6'6", Ness in real life." So when you're that tall, you guys they don't respect little dudes like that, man. And he has that complex where he feels unless you're fighting in the glamour divisions, he ain't never gonna give Naoya Inoue credit for being the best fighter. It's never gonna come out of his mouth. You know, for like just boxing's sake, he'll honor him for a brief moment, move on. Like he knows very little of those little guys. He knows
The thing
about
is,
them, but no.
yeah, I can't wait till Andy Hiroka gets a belt at 140 and starts smashing his way through the welterweight division. I really can't.
Andy Hiroka got himself a little fight already. Isn't he supposed to be fighting
Well, he
uh
was Gary. Was it
Antoine?
Gary
Yep,
Antoine Russell?
Russell. Right.
Yeah, but I thought that fight basically got postponed because that was supposed to be on the Tank Davis Roach rematch, wasn't it? And since
I,
all of like the stupid stuff that's
you
going on, no one
might
knows what's happening.
right. You might be right. Or he might get pushed to the headline of that fight and they might take a chance at the card and not completely fold on the card. So a lot of us are still left in the dark about the whole situation entirely. It wasn't like the remember when they was gonna announce what was it? Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney or whatever, I think it was, or Who was it? And they started packing that card. And once the head Tio pulled out or whatever negotiations it was, Turkey, the card fell apart. And then they started taking those fighters and putting them on different cards all across, and
Was that
that's how.
supposed was that supposed to be um oh, who's champion at 140? My mind's going blank now.
The
You got
champions right now,
Gary-
140.
The new one, the new.
Sabria
Oh yeah,
Matias.
Hitchens,
Yeah.
Teofimo Lopez.
Oh no, that's it. Wasn't it
Richard.
supposed to be Wasn't it supposed to be Tio and Hitchens?
I'm not sure who it was. I'm starting to.
Or was it
was
someone
it
moving up from 130, 134? Oh
or
no,
was it
it
Tio
was
and Brian Norman Jr.?
yes, no, Tio and Boots Ennis. Tio was going to move
Oh,
up to 147.
okay. No, I don't
Yeah,
think
to
that
fight.
one ever
Yeah,
got
yeah.
Yeah,
negotiated. No,
There
I don't
was.
yeah,
think
that
Boots
was
was
it.
in it.
No,
What?
yeah, because they were saying, because Eddie Hearn, I remember Eddie Hearn saying that they were happy to take that fight,
Yeah.
but then Teofimo was on some like stupid shit.
Yeah. And I remember that they had like a decent card underneath whoever it was that was headlining. And when it fell apart, all those the fights underneath got scattered to other fight cards in the future, and they started filling up like that November date. And they put, I'm not sure, but they might have put some on Saul Canelo Alvarez's,
Hey, speaking of November, Subidel's not fighting Dalton Smith in November, just so you know.
who's he fighting?
Rumors is they're trying to get the rematch with Puello
Mm-hmm.
for December. You ready for this?
Mm.
In Puerto Rico as a co-main to Amanda Serrano.
No, they can't do that.
Yeah.
Subriel Matias is a bigger name to headline in Puerto Rico itself. I don't know, man. I don't.
Now, Amanda, you gotta understand, Amanda's loved by the
For sure.
boxing world.
She lives in PR now.
But those are the rumors. Don't quote me on it. And then the other thing, after the smack that or the cocotazo that Subriel gave Tio, supposedly Tio wanted to press charges.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
That was a love tap, man.
Well,
Hey,
How
Mr. Miyagi, did you see that video?
Well, I've seen a few. Is it just the one angle? Because the guy
Oh
right
no
as
no
Gabriel
no,
slaps him, there's
Mr. Edwin has a up close and
oh,
personal.
see, now he wants me to. Yeah, he just wants to see the slap again.
Yo,
Wow,
Mr. Round One has an up close and personal that was shared with him.
wow,
Tio
this
and his
is
feelings.
this is
It went
nasty
trending.
work right here.
No, this is beautiful work. This is
Look.
Round One Sports Talk. This is
Yo,
behind the
I don't
scenes.
even know where it is anymore.
You want me to resend it to you so you can pull it up quicker?
No, what was the name of it again? The WBO and
Oh,
WB. What was it?
hold on. Give me a second. I'll tell you right now. Hold on.
Champ right here. Trash talk. And then this comes up right here. And then this right here. Oh my God. What's going on with this guy right here? It's like
It's the WBO champ
I
versus.
already got it. I'm ahead of you. It's on the screen.
Oh shit, my bad. I was looking for it. That's why.
Oh yeah. You slow. You
Right,
slow.
you gotta put the sound on and then.
Can you hear it?
Yep.
Why is I can't do the remake.
Run away, run.
You heard that, Mr. Miyagi? Yo, I can't get the hold up. We gotta reduce the size here, I think. Let's bam. Okay, we got the remix going here. Okay. we're gonna have the remix. This is
Man, the T.O. is so corny. Yeah,
you hear the slap?
How tall is Subriel?
So they're short, like 5'8", 5'9".
He's 5'10".
What, Subriel's
Mira,
5'10"?
mira la Subriel, mira la Tito, ¿viste?
Yeah, he's 5'10". He's 5'10". Because when you see him like standing like
Yeah, he looks
over here like
mad.
that, look how short Theo is to him. Look. Wait,
Oh
there's
my God.
I
Baby,
don't know
here,
where.
put these on.
Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can get us the other one, the other video. But I think there's one where they start talking actually first, and then they're like really side by side before everything started popping off, and they're like side by side. And but yeah, man, this guy that keeps popping up on my channel, man. This Round One Sports Talk guy, man. Good show, man. You guys should check him out. You know what I mean? You know,
Hey, it was on the Philo interview
oh yeah,
where he said it. He said a lot of shit. He's saying that he would love. He said that right now Turkey's talking whatever he's talking about the Dalton Smith fight,
right.
but at the end of the day, he doesn't work for Turkey.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? He works for Fresh Production, so it's whatever Yomi says. So Yomi could either A, accept that fight, or B, go a different route. He's
right,
got PBC that he could deal with. He's got MVP he could deal with, because I'm sure MVP would make the Puello and Subriel fight happen in PR.
right.
Um,
Have any mandatories been called for Subriel's belt? You know, since
Course
he
not.
no,
The
because I'm
entire
just thinking because Dalton
WBC,
Smith.
the entire WBC 140-pound division for the WBC ranking
they have joined Akhmedov over in
witness
MJ.
protection program. They've all enrolled, and it's a ghost town there. There are no rumors, nobody calling, no Subriel out. It's
Yo,
a
all
ghost.
listen,
all
I'm gonna be honest.
communications have been lost.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Me being Brian Norman right now, I would be like, "Hey, Devin Haney, I'm gonna sign up. You want to hold it for me? You feel me? Like on some real shit. Just do it. Just take the damn drug test, just so he can go to sleep. At the cómodo. So he doesn't
He
have.
already did. He already did. He already announced. He signed up. Everything is all like he's under the testing where they can come to your house at any time. He's with it all. He's with all that shit.
Well,
Brian Norman Jr.
Norman Jr. is a real one. He said it. He don't mind doing it. Just give him time to go on vacation with his family,
Right.
and he'll do it as soon as he gets back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I don't get why
I don't see what the
Haney's pressing
problem
so
is.
much.
Listen. Devin's waking up in cold sweats. Oh, bees! He's on bees. No, it's because of bees. Damn it, bees. Yo, so
Dad,
he's
Dad.
scared. Dad is running in. Well, I got you, Annie. I got you, Devin. Go to sleep, little Devin. A bad dream.
I think he's fine in that fight, though. Honestly,
You about to get demonetized by the.
Yo, listen, bro.
Whether he wants to box or run, he should be fine in that fight, bro.
Yo, listen.
No, on a serious note, I think as much as I don't like Haney for the bullshit he does, I like him as a fighter. Just the bullshit that he does, I don't like. But all jokes aside, I see Norman whooping the shit out of Haney if Haney stands in front of him. If Haney goes in with the right game plan, I can see him outpointing and beating on
Not
the
only is
cards.
he gonna outpoint Brian Norman Jr., but he's gonna stop Brian Norman Jr.
Oh, come
That's
on,
it.
come on,
I've
Evan.
heard enough. I've heard
Evan,
enough of these
stop the
shenanigans.
cap.
Okay, Devin Haney is a superior fighter, and I do not have a gun to the back of my head right now. Okay, those are all lies. Okay, all right.
Yo, no,
Listen,
he could outbox him and go to the cards and win comfortably if he comes
yo,
in with the right game plan.
well, Devin got the skills, man.
He
Listen,
does. He just doesn't have the power.
if he
He can
beat
make it.
Lomachenko, I mean, man, he made a believer, bro, out of me. I'm not a
Listen,
fan of Devin Haney, but I was like, damn, you beat Lomachenko? Like, what the fuck?
yeah, and look, I think Brian got good power, but David Haney's gonna zap that power out of him between the courses of rounds.
The
7,
problem with
8.
Norman Jr. is he's flat footed.
That's
Right,
what
He's
I'm
not.
saying.
right.
He's there to be hit, and I
Yep.
think that Haney is gonna zap that punching power right out of him. And once Devin Haney takes away his punching power, and he's no longer a threat like that, he's gonna get cocky in the fight. And he's gonna go in and he's gonna try. I don't know if he can stop Brian Norman Jr. I mean, Devin Haney at some point he's got to prove to the world and also prove to himself that he's on that level. He's not just being talked upon that level. He's not just had a couple good fights fighting smaller guys. And was that the case this entire time? He's really this is a big challenge for Devin Haney. It's going to answer a lot of questions, how he fares in the fight, and that's where he's at. But Brian Norman Jr. has his own goals, his own ambitions of really making his claim. If he can have Devin Haney's name on his resume as a victory, that's a good scalp. That's a
Let
pretty
me ask you something, Edwin. If you had the money, you were a promoter. Let's just say you had turkey money.
yeah.
What fights would you make happen on a card?
Uh
Realistic fights that the fans will fucking enjoy.
I would put Jerron Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz. I would put Naoya Inoue versus Junto Nakatoni, or move him up to the 126. Either of those two fights, those would be undercards to my main event. I would also main event Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson. I think I would put that the headliner, and I would put those other two fights underneath to support that card. And I would also just add flavor to the card by putting the Xander Zayes versus Fondora, or if he gets by that guy, who wins out of them two with Perez and Xander. I'd put the against Sebastian Fondora, and yeah, that would be a card that in a good world, if I could have,
That's
I
four
would.
fights. That's all you'll have. You won't have nothing else.
No, can I get more? Yeah, I thought I was getting greedy right there. But if you let me back in the candy
You
store,
kind of did
Well,
when you
dude, you got
said
turkey
Xander
money.
and
There's no
Fedora,
budget.
you kind of got greedy.
yeah, well, I'd also put Bam Bam Rodriguez against Puma. I would throw him on that card too.
Well,
I
isn't
would,
that fight already happening?
but can I have my card or not?
Oh,
You know,
okay.
you
Go
know what I'm
ahead.
saying?
Go ahead.
So well, okay, if you don't want active cards, I don't know. Let's
No, I
see.
want an active card. Well, no, you know what? This is your card.
Right, okay. And then I got Bam Bam and Puma, like I said.
So that's
Um
5 fights.
and then let's see. I would also take, who am I overlooking here? Um I would have Subriel Matias versus Teofimo Lopez.
Okay. That would be the opener to get the crowd hype, right?
Yeah, I would have to put him up there. I had to push him, I move around my card a little. But yeah, I put them there. And then down at the lower ones in the middle, I would also have Abdullah Mason, fighting Sam Notes. I'd have to throw him in there and shit. And I'd have my super card right there.
So 7 fights.
Yeah.
It's a nice card.
Yeah. I would that that'd keep me engaged all 7 fights. You know, like
Yeah, I'm just looking at the 168 division,
mhm.
and they haven't pulled Bruno Saras's loss to Munguia.
They haven't pulled it. It's a no
No,
contest,
he's
wasn't it?
yeah, but he's still. Why is he still showing up as 26-1?
I think they gotta file the motion and it hasn't been approved or something. But they have to, it's paperwork that I think has to be done after they
Well,
fill the testing. No.
because but didn't Devin Haney's defeat just literally get scrubbed within like a month?
Oh, that's because they moved fast. They wanted to get lawyers and everything. They were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wanted to sue everybody.
And so you probably mentioned it before, but how would you feel about Edgar Berlanga fighting Bruno Saras for his rebuild fight?
I like that.
Great fight. Great fight. I
Because
like that fight a
technically,
lot.
even though Bruno got outpointed by Munguia, obviously Munguia popped for some artificial testosterone and that. So likely that fight.
Two
Obviously,
banned substance. Yes, he did.
yeah. So hopefully they scrub that loss from his record, so then Edgar can fight an undefeated fighter that knocked out one of the top 10 in the division.
Mm.
Mira,
I think that's a good fight. I like it. Both of these guys need a marketable win. Bruno's win was taken or tainted now in his loss. So fighting with a guy on PEs, it's pretty much saying that if he didn't have them PEs or whatever, you might have beat him again. So that was robbed from you. And the embarrassing loss with Berlanga in New York City, let's call it what it is. And that's a good fight. Other than that, I won't accept anything else other than like Caleb Plant, or because Caleb Plant is also in his little situation too. But he has a good name. With and Edgar, they're gonna bring back some of these videos and past little moments with them. There's also the return of the Charlo twin. There's a lot of other big names up there. And look, Edgar Berlanga, whether he likes it or not, he already stepped into the spotlight. Stepping backwards a little too much, does he still have the support of the fans? Can he still headline some fights? Edgar Berlanga, so sometimes you don't want to take a step too far back, but that Bruno fight, I would like it too. Look at Edgar's in such a bad place that in that same interview with Turkey, I think it was Ness that asked him. He was like, "Yo, you wouldn't put Edgar Berlanga in against Jake Paul?" And Turk said, "No, I'm not sure Edgar Berlanga knock out Jake Paul." Wow, you don't got that much confidence in homeboy? He done fell off that far that realistically, you don't think he could beat Jake Paul or Jack Paul, the way he called him. You know what I'm saying?
I know, yeah.
I was like, damn, when did Jack Paul become a serious contender overnight? And who was the guy that he beat to get there? To tell the Prince, oh, I don't believe in Edgar Berlanga. Shit. Put fucking Jack Paul in the ring with Edgar if you want to. Go ahead. And so.
Not for nothing. I think Pacquiao will take the money to fight Jake Paul.
Yeah, and that would be crazy too, huh?
And I bet you Pacquiao beat his ass.
Hell
he gonna
no.
light him up like Oscar de la Hoya.
No.
Nah,
bro. Jake Paul is gonna come in there,
big.
all of 200 and something pounds of them.
It don't even matter because Pacquiao's gonna move so fast. He's not even gonna be able to
catch the fuck up.
Listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something real quick. You see what Mayweather did to fucking Logan Paul? It's gonna be worse. Mayweather was playing with Logan Paul, and
Mayweather.
at one point, Logan Paul's body was on top of Mayweather, and it would have been a knockdown. That's how hard he hit him.
You're talking about Mayweather, arguably the most skilled fighter of probably all time, that 1% category that, like, for years, Manny Pacquiao has lived in his shadows. That we got to talk about certain things to lower the bar to get Manny's name in the room in conversations with such a great one like Floyd. Manny Pacquiao, as you can see, did the same 1-2 lunging thing on Mario Barrio, and the world saw Mario Barrio clearly take it easy on your little Manny Pacquiao.
We did take
Don't
it easy, but
don't
he
get
came in
don't
with
get it twisted.
combinations and from
Don't get
different
it
angles.
twisted. Jake Paul can crack, bro. And he's gonna have roughly 40 pounds somewhere in that equation on your little fucking Manny Pacquiao. And at some point, you're gonna have to engage. Jake Paul's not a slouch. He can hit you.
Jake
Just
Paul's a
one.
pretender. He has not fought a top 15
I don't give a fuck. We're
contender.
talking about Manny Pacquiao.
Exactly.
Old
We're
ass.
talking about the legend. That man, listen, he would whip Jake Paul as if he was
You're
Bruce Lee,
crazy.
motherfucker.
You're crazy, bro. You're like you're not taking size into consideration, bro.
I don't have to.
At some
I think
point,
I think he's using his fantasy card right now.
yeah, like he's
Wait,
taking
can I?
a guy in a 1% category in Mayweather.
It's
There
not
was
that, bro.
no
It's
other
the fact
person that can
Jake
do that
Paul,
like that.
listen, people are giving Jake Paul credit, and we don't even know how fast
Who's these
this guy can
people?
fatigue.
You know
Bro, we
these
don't know.
people personally?
Listen, we don't know his real stamina against good fighters that are ranked in the top 15.
Well, that's going to be tested with
whatever the
Anthony
case is.
Joshua.
Yeah,
That's gonna
Turkey,
be-
Turkey want to make that happen. Turkey want to do the AJ fight.
That's fucking crazy. Listen, it's crazy that Turkey views him as such a threat, and somehow the guy that comes out on top, that he has to go get the assistance of AJ, or like a real current former world champion, like in the heavyweight division, to come and fight this Jake Paul guy that outboxing here says is no threat to no one. He's never boxed anybody. And I've never said I held Jake Paul in regards to any weight division. I don't think he's a real boxer when it comes to us, but I think he's unraveling his amateur career on a world stage. Yes, until he makes that foolish step to go a little too far in real boxing. Because when he fights a real boxer, like a top guy, like not fucking Cesar Cruz's, I mean, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., that basically started fighting at the end of the fight, and you saw Jake Paul was in a lot of trouble, right? And Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. started like putting that pressure on him. So, challenge, nevertheless, real boxer, yes, past his prime, arguably, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., but Jake Paul made a statement with that fight.
Yeah, but that
Not-
was bought out, bro. You cannot tell me that a boxer doesn't throw fucking punches in the first 3 rounds.
All right, listen.
That was
All
a
right.
script.
Say what you want.
He's gotta
Bought
go.
out. Yeah, I gotta go in a second. But say what you want, bought out or whatever. It's what occurred. And the funny thing is that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. said after the fight, he said, "What was the game plan going into the fight on the Spanish channel?" And he said the game plan was to drag him out, Jake Paul, into deep water. I tried to get him tired, but not do too much, preserve my energy to fight strong at the end of the fight. He said, I did that exactly, but I did it too late. He said, and I also, my mistake was I didn't give him anything in the first half of the fight to make him overwork. Had I made him work a little harder in those first 3 rounds, he probably would have had Jake Paul out of there in this fight. He just initiated his plan and he was too calm. He forgot to do just certain things in the fight to get there. He
That
just
fight was
thought,
fake.
he said, let me just get there and boom, I'm good. And it just, I don't know. Listen, Jake Paul, he's not a guy I really talk about. He's not there with, I cover professional boxing, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't circus acts and things like that and this shit like this. Good for boxing, entertaining, yes. I always use eye to the sport, but until he starts fighting honorable guys in the ranking system, and then you can tell me what weight division he actually fights in and where is he going in with all this. I just think that I respect what he's doing. He's a guy that used the world stage as his amateur debut. He doesn't have any amateur fights. How do you want him just to go into a pro setting to get knocked out? So he did all these gimmick fights, made a shitload of money doing it, and now he wants to put his toe in the pond. And he just better be careful who he says yes to. So listen, guys, rest in peace to Hulk Hogan. Yeah. Yeah, mom, I touched on it earlier in the show when I came across my screen that we lost another one. We just lost Ozzy the day before. We lost Hulk Hogan today, and yesterday we lost Ozzy Smith. What's his name? The guy that used to
Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, he died, and now Hulk Hogan passed away. So Heaven's getting they're gonna get a Summer Jam SmackDown beatdown while Ozzy's playing in the background. You know what I mean? So fight fans, listen, you guys are the best. Love you guys. So on to the next one. After this one, here at Round One Sports Talk, I gotta hop off, go outside and enjoy the summer.
Enjoy the day.
The day with my kids. My wife is like, get out here with the kids. They just want me to grill. That's all they need me for. They need their hot dogs and their hamburgers.
Link,
Without
if you're in
me,
trouble.
they don't got anything. Okay, you got to go through me. Yeah.